We're back on theme 1.1, the role of business enterprise. This is the second of 3 lessons. You'll be able to see lesson 2. Last lesson we looked at the role of business enterprise, why the business exists. Again, some student instructions. The links will go on lesson 2 there. I'll put lesson 3 in a bit. Follow the instructions. Make sure that you can do it by hand or computer. Answer the questions when I pause it. And again, same as we did in the previous videos. So as I said, we did that last lesson. We're back onto lesson 2 now, theme 1.1. So what I'd like you to do to start off with, I'm going to pause the video in a second. Adding value. What does it mean in the terms of role of the business enterprise? Why is it important to customers and business? And find an example. Find an example once you've figured out what it means, I suppose. But when I mean find a business example, where do you feel a business has added value? Have a go. I'm going to give you, this should take 5 to 10 minutes. So try your best to try and get as much information. We have covered this in lesson before, so this shouldn't be a new concept to you. So you can try and do this. I'll pause it now. Okay, so you should have had a go at trying to answer those 3 parts in the table. I'm just going to go through some of the information that I've got. Adding value there, you can quite clearly see is a difference, and this is important to write down, between what it costs a firm to produce a product or service and the amount they are sold for. So I've just put an example here as to why it's important. Of course, it's important for a business to make money. So they have to add value to the product they sell. So whether that is producing, let's say, T-shirts, or if they are producing pens, you can see, this pen here is from Paperchase. Now, this pen from Paperchase wasn't the cheapest pen, but how have they added value? They've taken the cost, or Paperchase have taken the cost it costs them to make this pen, and then they've sold it obviously for more. So if we look at the calculations in a simple form to start off with, I'll come back to this pen in a second. Why is it important? Calculation: 100 units sold. It costs to make the 100 units. Let's say the overall cost to make 100 pens, units. 1 unit is a pen. Let's say it cost them £500. The sales revenue, i.e. the money they make from selling all of the 100 pens, would be £1,200. Therefore, the added value they've made is going to be £700. So Paperchase have added £700 to 100 of these pens. And that is the value. The business can add value. That is why it's important for the business. And of course, the main reason why it's important to add value for a business is to survive, for them to be a success. Why is it important for customers to add value? Well, they want to feel like they're getting value for money. And let's go back to the sales revenue here. Well, guess what? If customers don't feel that they're getting value for money, they aren't going to come back, or they're not going to buy the product or service. So it's really important that a business does add value, i.e. makes more or sells it for more, the product for more than it costs them, but they have to do it in a way that pleases the customers too, because they can't drive customers away by them feeling, well, I don't think that's value for money. So just to repeat, from a business's point of view, it is important to add value to survive. Businesses need to add the value in a number of ways. Now, find a business example. Look, let's take airlines. Personally, I've never been in business class or first class or anything like that. I've only flown I've actually got upgraded once to Economy Plus, but this is an example. There's a mix of different seats. Now, what business airlines do is they try and add value by the level of service, the level of comfort that they can charge, that they provide customers, and therefore that they can charge more money for. Essentially, you get in an airplane, you're going to go from point A to point B, but it's how you go from point A to point B. Economy is obviously the cheapest seats. There's not as much value added to that seat. So for example, you haven't got as much space, you may have a different menu. First class, you'll have your own private area, you'll have potentially your own bathroom, or a bathroom for only 3 or 4 people. So again, these are examples of how a business has added value. And if the customer feels that that value has been added, again, they feel like they're getting the value, they will keep on coming back. So again, it's important for a business to figure out ways how they can add value to their product. Another way then is I put here services. I'll just give you an example of grocery deliveries. I'm sure parents, guardians and carers will be having lots of deliveries of products. And again, this is another way that businesses added value. This has started a few years ago now, and it was a clever way of trying to get customers to continually shop at their shops. So for example, Tesco's or Sainsbury's, by offering online delivery. You know, the service is efficient, it's effective. You go online, you can save your basket, and again, it's an added value. It's a need food, so people are going to want, but how can a business add value to the customer's experience? Well, they can sit in their home, they can have someone deliver their product. It might be for a nominal fee of £5 or whatever that fee may be. Some supermarkets get rid of the fees, but these are areas that a business can add value through providing a service. Likewise with that, I put here Ambience as an example I found or thought of in restaurants. There'll be some restaurants that you go to that charge a lot more potentially for the same products. Now, one of the things that people like is nice seats, a nice lighting, nice environment, expensive fixtures and fittings. So when they go into the environment, they feel, oh, this is a quality restaurant. So again, this is another way that a business can add value. They will charge higher prices for providing that ambient environment. And the last one I put here as an example is warranties on products. So for example, if I was to buy a car, sometimes they offer you a 3-month warranty or a 12-month warranty. Some cars offer a 7-year warranty. So again, the warranty on if something goes wrong with the product, you know you've got that peace of mind. It's that after-sales service that you can get your problem resolved with the product or service that you buy. And this is another way businesses add value. John Lewis is renowned for it. Their after sales care for customers is second to none. And that is why people tend to go there and shop, because they know if they buy a product or service, they know that they are going to be supported if that product or service goes wrong after they buy the product, hence the word after sales. So again, it's another way a business can add value. So just spend some time now adding to this information what I've spoken about in your table. This is task 2, and this is an important one. We're going to move on in a second. I'm going to pause it in a second just to catch breath, but we're going to move it on to the role of business enterprise. Why is it a good way to add value? And we've got some pieces of information here. I'm just going to pause the video while you go back and you just add to this table here, and then we'll move on to the second part in a second. Okay, so now we've got another table here. This is task 3. So why is it a good way to add value? You've got 5 areas down here. We've got convenience. We spoke a little bit about that in the previous part of the lesson. You've got design, you've got quality, you've got branding, and you've got something called USP, which I'll tell you what the letters stand for in a second. So what I'd like you to do is, why do you think convenience is a good way for a business to add value? Find a business example. So find an example of a business providing convenience. We've spoken about that a little bit. And then try and rank order them. Your opinion, what do you think is the best way for a business to add value in terms of rank ordering? So do you think design's number 1? Do you think convenience is number 1? And then put a rank order 1 to 5 for me. Okay, just going to give you, I think maybe 10 to 15 minutes to do that task. Okay, so you should have had a go at completing this blank task. The task was to complete the table with the correct information from the video. What is the best way to add value and why? Now, here's some examples I'm going to go through. So we've got convenience, design, quality, branding, and USP. which I'll go through last, because this kind of encompasses all of this together. So convenience. So remember, we went adding value. Just to very recap quickly here. Adding value was 700 because it cost 500. Oh, sorry. It cost £500 to make the product, but they made 1,200. So again, how can a business add value? How can they charge more for what it cost them to make it? And there's a couple of ways that a business can do that. The first one is convenience. Customers value their time and will pay more for faster and easy products and services. Well, this is very, very true. You've only got to look at fast food. On the news recently, the queues for McDonald's when it opened after the lockdown restrictions is just a great example of convenience, going through the drive-through. Probably wasn't that convenient, actually, the queuing times, but Just Eat is another example. The convenience, you can have an app. You feeling hungry, you don't want to make the product, your food yourself. You know that there's products, you just go on Just Eat, you pay your £2.95 delivery, and again, it's a convenient way. So fast food is an example. Design. How can a business add value? Well, businesses can add value if the products look good. People want stylish, trendy products that look good. An example, an Audi A5. It's a stylish, nice looking car. So again, it commands more value. You could take a nice piece of bespoke furniture, stylish. It would add value, the skills to create it. And people are very creative in design. So one of the main areas is when the iPhone came out. I'll use that as an example. It was stylish. It was very creative with the apps and the way it was used. Remember, Steve Jobs wanted a 2-year-old to be able to use it, which I'm sure many of them can. So again, the design and the skills to create it has added value, and they can charge a premium based on that design. And of course, everyone wants one, and that's probably the pinnacle for a business if they get the design right, and it becomes a kind of symbol that that's on trend. People want that product. So again, design is a really important point in the way a business can add value. Quality. So how well does the product or service do what it is supposed to do? Quality can be in a number of different ways. People or businesses can charge a premium for quality. Materials that they use, the materials behind the fabric, for example, in producing clothes or bed sheets or whatever it may be, the material is of higher quality. Obviously, it costs more for the business to source that material, but they can charge a higher price, therefore adding value. Durability. How well does the product last? So if you're producing a good quality piece of furniture compared to some of the cheaper furniture you can buy, again, you can charge a premium. You can add value with the quality and the durability of the product. And of course, perception. This comes from something I'll talk about in a second, branding and the design, but perception. If people perceive the product to be quality, they are going to pay a premium for it. And that is something that businesses strive to do if they are going for that quality area. A couple of examples here. You've obviously got 5-star hotels. The materials they use in the rooms, for example, the quality of the mattresses, etc., the soundproof and the size of the TV, whatever it may be for that room to be 5-star is an example of the quality. And shoes, again, durability. Shoes are becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper nowadays with mass production. But again, there are still shoes out there that you can buy, sometimes in the hundreds of pounds. But the material, the way that the shoe's made, the materials that they use, is durability. And again, the design is something that can add value. So quality is a way a business can add value. Branding. Simply, you build up your name or logo. I'll put Nike there. It's a very good example. I was looking at some Nike trainers the other day, actually, and the price that you can charge for Nike trainers that Nike can charge are a lot higher than non-branded trainers. Well, why is that? Potentially, Nike and another brand are made in the same factory, they're made with the same products, but that name and that logo is a symbol. People want that symbol, and therefore it's an added value to the business. So a good brand and a good name is what a business wants. And the last one you've got on here is a USP, unique selling point. All of the points above link to the unique selling point, and it's essentially what makes the product stand out. So it could be the name, could be the logo, it could be the durability, it could be the materials, it could be the skills produced, it could be the style of a piece of furniture or a product, it could be the convenience time. So, for example, delivering within 24 hours. Amazon Prime is a good example of the unique selling point, well, when it came up. But I have got a really good example here, which I found online, and it's Tom's Shoes. You may or may not know about the brand Tom's Shoes, but if you don't, you can research it. And they give a new pair of shoes to a child in need to give it that. Sorry, let me say that. They give a new pair to a child in need to every pair of shoes you purchase. So what I'd like you to do is there's a link here, so you can actually go online and have a look, and I put www.toms.co.uk/impact, and that gives you an overview. So I'd like you to have a look at that, and that is a unique selling point that Toms have decided to create for themselves. They give a pair of shoes away to every child in need. So that brings an end to this lesson. Again, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get as much information down here as possible, fill in your boxes, go online. I'm also going to put a Microsoft Forms on Show My Homework to give you a plenary question. I'm going to be doing that quite a lot in the next couple of weeks. It's a good way of getting feedback instantly from you. So just to repeat, we've got one more lesson on theme 1.1 with the business enterprise about entrepreneurship. And I'd like you to go into a little bit of detail here, fill in this box, rank order them, see what you think. Send this back to me and I'll have a look to see what you've written. Hopefully this video helps you out. Again, that was your first lesson up here. So that was your first task, in the lesson. And you can fill those 2 boxes in. Okay, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you soon. Good luck.